Okay, let's see. Um, Wait, one thing isn't working. Testing, testing. Testing. Okay, there we go. PNG tuber is working. Let's see, that's music. Go live notification. Okay, that should all be working now. So, welcome back everyone. It's been another week. We will be working on Retopor again. As last week we made some good progress on the pants. We even got this belt set up to work. I'm still up in the air for if this is how I want it to be, but for what we have at the moment, I'm gonna say that this is fine. Okay. Uh, let's see. What do I want to work on today? I think I want to work on a... Okay, so I've been busy this week. I'm trying to set up some new streaming things, so also please let me know how the volumes are, as I had to do some microphone stuff. No, I think I managed to recreate the original settings. Okay, so I think I want to work on the little prop um, that's on the leg, and then also get those bandages figured out. So for that, I'm gonna have to go into ZBrush again, and if you recall, I kept some items on the world origin, and this is exactly why. So if I were to not have kept a world space duplicate of that model, we would now have to be retopologizing a symmetrical element that is set in world space. So that means we cannot use the mirror function of it. Okay, so let me grab the decimation file of ZBrush real quick, opening it up. Okay, that's it. Swap scene, there it is. So this is the decimation file, and if we look on the left, we have a... where was it? Okay, guitar world space, we're not doing that one yet. World origin elements. If I open up that map, there should be a... yeah. Let's see, that revealed a bit more than I wanted. But it's up here, alongside with the other elements that are all kept in world space. So I'm only interested in the following few elements. Ear piercing, so this is what I want. So for retopologizing, we will be doing it in world space, and then we will match it as best as we can with the position of the leg again. Because for the utility maps such as world position and ambient occlusion, we do want it to be in, like, on the character. But for the retopologizing stage, we'll be doing it in world space. So I have 3 elements. Give me a quick second. That's a notification. That can wait. Okay, so first things first. This thing is still in dynamic preview, so it's just this, and I want more. So I want all of these neat creases. We'll up the subdiv. Geometry, crease level set at 2. Smooth visions, we'll just hit apply. I believe this one... yeah, this one did have true subdivisions. And the spikes They also still have a smooth preview. Okay, so creases, weapon. Okay, crease level 2, definitely not enough. Crease level 4, too much. So we'll stick with crease level 3. Okay. This is going to be a solid piece, so we're gonna have to merge them. I'll copy them into a new subtool. Oh, not duplicate. Wrong button. Copy. And it's all gonna be one big part, so all of these are gonna be merged together. So I'll just say merge visible, which is gonna create a new subtool. Oh, I forgot to apply the actual subdivisions. So now you can still see it's a dynamic preview. So we hit apply, and now they have real subdivision levels. And we are going to need the highest one. I'll do the same here. Apply. Merge visible. Needs a tab. Okay. I think this is happening because all of them have the exact same amount of subdivision levels, and then ZBrush is trying to. Oh. Then ZBrush is trying to combine them all together, and then also give them back their subdivision levels. This is not showing up on screen, but my ZBrush is currently crashing. Great start. Oh, there we go. It just needed to think a bit. So here we have our new subdivision model, or our new merged shin guard. And as you can see, it tried to keep the subdivisions because it has the... I think all of them had the exact same amount of subdivision levels. Right, though we don't need these. Delete lower. Again, I'm only interested in surface information, so we are going to decimate this all, or not decimate yet, Dynamesh. Since this is 7 million, let's just Dynamesh at the 4K maximum and see how that goes. Because again, this is not the model that we'll be using for the actual high poly bake. We're just creating a decimated proxy mesh that we can retopo on. So it's okay that, for example, oh, come on. It's okay that over here we have like a little bit of artifacting, because that's just getting the items, the surfaces fused. Because later on, for the actual high poly bake, we will be using this model where everything is still split, and then we'll get all of these. Like, we won't have that artifacting going on. But for the high poly decimation, this is more than fine. So, let me get rid of this. Wait, can you see the subtools? You can. Let me get rid of the reference image for a split second so people can see, or if you missed it in the previous one, Decimation Master. This is where currently the model is almost 450,000 active points. That is way too much. We're going to process it. This takes a few seconds depending on your machine. And then we're going to say, hey, knock this down to like 50,000 polygons. Alright, that did it. We did not lose any shape or silhouette. But if we turn on wireframe, you can see that it took quite a chunk, and now it's 25,000 points, which is 50,000 calls. I'm actually tempted to make this even go just like 20k. Okay. We still have all of the shapes, and this is what we will be exporting back into Maya. So, export, pops up a window that stream isn't catching. Assets, decimated objects, and I'll just call it shin guard world space decimated. Alright. Go back into Maya. we import, we go to our decimated folder, because again, file hierarchy is very important. This is only our second object that we're putting in here. Is the second of many. So here we have our object. As you can see, yeah, almost 20,000 triangles. And I will just do the same thing again, where we are going to do some retopologizing. I rearranged my desk, so a few things are now out of reach, and autopilot is making me not hit things. So, turn on symmetry, everything. Okay. Again, big shapes first. These are quads. Just like sketching, we'll be working from big shapes to smaller shapes. And then once we blocked out the main shapes of the low poly, that's when we can just add more edges and get our smoothness going. But for now, just follow the flow, follow the shape. Again, we will be doing some test baking again, just to see, is it holding up the shape? Do we need more polygons? Is the normal map enough to carry it? Then based on those tests, we'll know if we need more polygons or not. Because again, this is low poly of a static object. This is a piece of armor. This should not bend. So when the character flexes their legs, this thing should not deform. So in theory, we don't need everything to be in neat quads. Like at the end, we might even be able to just collapse this and not have this edge entirely. We can just have a triangle here. But let's block it all out in quads first, just so we don't immediately like start triangulating everything and lose the way. Clean sketches first. Alright. Works. Okay. So up here at the top, you can see that this is a little bit more wavy. The metal part, that one is straight, but for the padded part, we'll need a few more edges. Same here for the length of it. Okay, so I will put a few here because these are going to coincide with the studs. And let me just cut these in. Try to place them as close as we can. These are beveled edges, so we'll see if either one edge is enough to hold it up or if we need multiple. I want to use the blue sky latest feature where you can tell people that you're live. Alright, cool. That works. That's a neat feature. Okay. more here. And we're gonna need one more here. Just so that we have these center points. So again, we'll cut. And we will be needing another edge over here. Now, because these are triangles, we can't just insert an edge loop, so we'll just have to cut them manually one by one. Now, these in the back are quads again, so and we'll just see how many we need for the silhouette. Make sure that they're on the curvature, so that when we look at it from all angles, we want to avoid having little spikes like this. And again, I'm doing the thing where I'm zoomed in, like from a distance. This is what we'll be looking at. As long as it holds up from this distance, we should be good. Symmetry is still holding up, good. Same with this. Yeah, again, make some cuts. This one's gonna require a lot more due to the shape. Point's gonna go way up. Very gently smooth. Good that this one remains on the points. So because the bottom has a larger curvature than the top, maybe we can even get away with something like this. Where the top only requires one edge, but the bottom requires two. Same for this. Yep, alright, cool. We can terminate these. Let's see. most likely need a few more edges here for the padding. I'll leave this as an end-on for now. We are just purely focusing on getting that shape of the padding a little bit better. I'll also add a over here just so we have a little bit of curvature. Can probably make a point here. Yeah, and this is on the back, so you're never really gonna see it. But we can just have it all terminate into a point for now. Yeah, again, using triangles, no biggie. As long as the shape of piece kept, and this is a non-deforming object. Just want them to be a little bit. I do want to make sure that they're evenly spread. Make sure that we don't have hang-on, so we'll place one here. No, okay, so trying to be a little overzealous on like trying to reduce polygons, but we can see that there is a bit of curvature that we have to respect. Make sure I don't accidentally miss anything else. Nope, that's straight too. Cool. And same here at the bottom. we're gonna need a few more edges to keep up the silhouette. Hey Roy Enzo, welcome on in. How are you doing? Oh, Marin, thank you very much for the 5-month sub. Well, just chilling a bit. Nice. Do take your time to chill from time to time. How's my day going? It's been going well. I mostly rearranged my desk today, as thanks to the support on stream, I actually got a new microphone. I was hoping I could get it all set up for today, though trying to install new hardware on your computer and then wanting to go run around with it untested on stream, I didn't think that was going to be the best of ideas. So this stream we're still using my headset microphone. Hopefully on the next stream I'll be able to use my new microphone. So a lot of setting up, and then also realizing like, oh god, part of my desk needs to be completely rearranged, and that's when you start cleaning everything. Oh, what am I doing with this topology back here? Yeah. And again, thank you very much for the 5 months, Marin. Good morning, I hope you're doing well. So yeah, again, I've been getting a lot of help from Deek. She's helping me set this microphone up. We did some testing, and so it turns out it's, by the way, it's a Blue Yeti that I got. It's really nice. Quality is extremely, like, it's a definite upgrade. But it's also another microphone that you can like have just somewhere on your desk. So she told me that this type of microphone requires it to be like pretty much in your face. So we got one of those arms that will like help like be in the position where it should be. It's just that I was hoping that the shape of my desk would allow for an easy montage onto it. So that didn't happen. So I rearranged my entire screen setup. I have the arm to my immediate left now. We're not going to talk about wire management just yet, because all of this might change again somewhere around this week. Yeah, I've been busy. What do we want to do here? So just collapse it like this. Alright, still feeling the pain of dinner last night, but worth. Dare I ask what you ate? Also, yeah, setting up a microphone and then going through all of the settings of like the gain, the cutoff noise, making sure it doesn't pick up your keyboard. So what am I doing with this topology? So again, this is why you don't triangulate straight from the start, because now I just have like this spaghetti ball that I should fix up. And then also trying to have multiple conversations at the same time. Yeah. edge like this. We'll stop it like this. Spicy tacos with many jalapenos. Oh boy. Yep, good luck. Okay. Oh, this one slid out. Okay, so we have a model, our initial model. Let's just see how it holds up. Soft edges, or rather, soft edges on some, but again, I should really look this up a bit more, because all of this being soft edges, I forgot how someone put it, and it's an important one. Like every, hang on, let me quickly Google this one. Yeah, hard edges are split normals and soft edges are shared normals. And with split normals, the vertices for each side of the edge is duplicated, so it technically becomes heavier. I should have looked this up before stream, but I got busy with the microphone. I think I need to make these hard edges, just to help the normal map a bit more. So again, using the hard edges, and I believe it's the same for these things. Just so that the normal map doesn't need to bend over backwards to have that sharp crease in there. But again, we'll see how it goes. We'll do some. This is why we test bake. So I want this to be slightly. It's gonna be depending on on which angle you're looking from. And also we're being way too zoomed in. We're being too precious. Hard edge. Okay. Give it some mock UVs. And again, I'm still annoyed by this on stream. I'm using the radial menu, so when you see me make these type of movements with the mouse, I'm literally going through a little sub-menu. So for example, if I go shift right mouse button, I get mapping, I go up and I do a planar map, and you just get like a frontal projection. If I go up and say automatic mapping, that's when you get something like this, where it's just everything is unique. Does it show up on stream? It does. Everything is unique, nothing is overlapping. Let me lay it out. So it's like a little bit more optimum on how much space is being used. And then let's punch it back into ZBrush, Marmoset. naming convention. Shin Guard world specs low. Okay, and we'll also grab the decimated object. So let me quickly get rid of the namespace. So that was in what was it? General editor, namespace editor. No, it doesn't have one. Okay. We'll just call this one high for the moment. Right. Marmoset. Opening the scene. So here we are again. We have our the body. I'm going to consider the shin guard to be part of the body because I'll be making. Whenever you have a baking group, this is also like one texture space. And I believe for this character, I'd like to make 2 texture spaces, one for the body and one for the weapon. So it's going to be in the body work in progress bakes, and we'll just say right mouse button. Where is it in this version? So there should be a button of just add, oh right, add bake group. And we'll call this Shin Guard. Okay, cool. Export, we have our high, which goes in high, we have low, goes in low. We don't care, but we do care about materials eventually. So we'll just make a new one and call that one Shin Guard. This is because the UVs are still, what do you call it? Otherwise we'd have overlapping UVs, and trying to bake into overlapping UVs is going to give technical errors, and that's not what we want. Okay. Wait, no. Because they're in the same group, I have to. Okay, I will have to put them for now in a different bake group. I'll call it Shin Guard. Bake. And we will put the eyes in there. This one. Again, test baking. They're not all in the same UV space yet. So that's why I have to be mindful of it. Let's look at the baking cage. Looks fine, automated, and this isn't the most technical of things. Let's see. Output. Source images, Marmoset bakes, Shin Guard. And I would like normals, and let's do an ambient occlusion as a test. This thing is probably not going to have a lot of ambient because it's quite far off the floor. If we show the skill reference, like this is where the floor is going to be, it's above it. Odds are it's going to get like the faintest of self-occluding on the spikes. Alright, start. I like that we have a little progress bar in it these days. Right, normal map. A little bit of ambient. I think over here we can also go like, hey, give me the render pass of albedo only. And then we will see everything that's only in the albino channel of all the models. So you're not going to get distracted by an albedo, when you're in albedo mode, you will not get distracted by things like reflections or normal map information. Okay, so we do see that there's a couple of issues with it. Same here on the spike itself. Over here we have some issues, so we'll check why that is. The cage over here looks to be too... Yeah, we have things going outside of the cage. And that's not good. Estimate offset. We'll just let it do its own thing for a second. And then because we have interactive turned on, if I turn this off, it will not try to rebake everything constantly. Okay, hit start again. Why is it giving these issues? I should not have said that this was not going to be like such a technical thing. Like, oh, it's a simple object, and in saying that, I invoked the wrath of 3D baking. Okay, so again, I wonder why this thing over here has like a weird gradient. So let me check in Maya real quick if I maybe missed a hard edge. Back to Maya. Does appear to have hard edges. UV. That's not okay. Okay, so this indicates that maybe there's something of a technical error, because why is his face acting all funky? That shouldn't be. Alright, cleanup tool. Maybe that'll tell me something. Welcome to 3D modeling, everyone. Okay, so hang-ons, lamina faces, and a non-manifold geometry. Alright, we do have some non-manifold geometry in it, which is a technical thing to which we just say clean up, apply. Now if we select it, everything's good. Cleaner select, automatic. Let's do it again. Okay, why? Why are you doing this to me? Okay, fine. I'll fix you manually. Let's see. Select the mesh as non-manifold geometry, which needs to be... Wait. Okay. So there is something wrong in it. Weird. Just to make sure, we're gonna merge vertices, see if anything happens. Nope. Anything being merged that's like fewer than 0.0001. Oh, so it's the 0.001. Though the vertex count did not change, so re-export. Go back to the marmoset. Get a UV scrambled. Rebake. So these are normals. So we are baking this on a 2K. Sure. Okay, let's up the resolution and let's up the samples. Maybe that will give us something better. Format 8-bit should be good. Padding doesn't matter now. Don't believe there's any. No, you don't see the submenu, but I see nothing looks out of the ordinary. We'll just rebake again. Weird how these artifacts are creeping in. I'm not quite sure why this is. Because we can see the cage going out it quite a bit. So there's no ray misfire. Canvas have to be a more uniform offset. Set to 1. Okay. So what might have happened was because we did a uniform offset, we do not see our cage fracturing. We don't see any holes. Everything is fine. We hit estimate offset. You can see how the computer is now trying to like put values in it that'll push the cage inward and outward, and that's how you get like these weird, like you see how there's a hole in the cage here. I think that's what's causing it. Now, this is most likely due to the automatic UVs, where the UV cuts are everywhere. So what I'm going to do is say clear. Oh wait, it doesn't capture. It doesn't capture the bake offset window. Great. We use a uniform maximum offset now. We'll do it like this, and we'll bake, and that looks good. Okay, so that's, yeah, that's one piece done. Cool. Back to Maya, we know that this one works. We could go ahead and just give this some actual UVs. So, yeah, the whole point of doing actual UVing, or giving it proper UVs, in a perfect world, all UV space is unique and uniform. Reality is you will distort your UVs to sometimes get certain effects. So when I look at this model and I do a frontal projection, we already get quite a few good results. What I probably want to do is cut the back off. And I have it so that we have like some edge border visualizations. Hopefully on stream it also becomes more clear where I put these cuts. As you now see like this thicker white line going over it. And then, yeah, it stops here because again, our selection does not allow for... if everything is neat quads, or it has surface continuity, or like, what do you... Sometimes Maya doesn't know in which direction to go, because it goes here and then, okay, we have so many choices to go from. So we'll just manually have to tell it, hey, make another cut here. So then we have a front and a back. This is a flipped shell, or it's not. If it's flipped, it's red. You have this option here. And we'll just tell it, we'd have to do it here, and you just say flip. Or it's so annoying that it doesn't show any of the sub menus. Okay, but anyway. cut out these parts. Cut. Cut the horns off and the stud. Well, maybe the studs can stay. Because these studs appear to be small enough where if we do a unfold, let's see, where was it? Where you can check the... Maya has a lot of tools to show you how much stress is on it and how much deformation. So down here you can see that where it's red, it's getting compressed. So down here, this is a shape that's currently being compressed quite a bit. So we'll have to add a few extra cuts so it gets alleviated. Okay, bit better. Because again, this is a shape that goes out and in. And again, in today's day and age of, hey, we can paint with texture stretching, we might as well just keep it like this. Right, straighten shell. Because again, every UV cut that we add, it adds another place where pixel information does not line up. So I'm looking at these studs. If we were to cut them out, and give them an unfold, you see them change slightly, and now they're a lot closer to white, which means that they are not under any stress. Whatever pixel information that you put on it will not be distorted. Now, can't believe I'm saying these words, but back in the day when Substance Painter wasn't around yet, where you had to paint directly on your UVs in a 2D program such as Photoshop or, God forbid, Microsoft Paint, if you had distortion in your UVs at that point in time, you'd have to find a way to paint the distortion in it so it would add back up in 3D. That was painful, let me tell you that. So if you received a model from another team member and they did a less than stellar job at doing the UVs, for example, if you had to texture wood, like wooden beams on a architectural model, but the UVs would be all stretched and distorted, rather than paying nice smooth wood grains that are all following the same flow, you would have to get the liquefy tool and very carefully start distorting them so that they would follow the UV distortions, and then in 3D when you fold it back together, they would line up again. Let me tell you, that was awful. That's when you would look at your team member and go, your UVs are bad, please redo them. Alright. Okay. One thing that I like to do is, so again, there are so many small things that you can do in UVs that will make the texturing stage on the next one so much easier. So for example, these spikes, odds are you want to have like a little bit of directional gradients in it. However, if your UV island is at an angle like this, if you have a, let's say, a vertical texture on it, it's going to be projected at an angle. So what I like to do is select the center line and then go to the tool straighten shell, and that will actually straighten it out. So now if we have a vertical stretching or like a vertical effect on it, it will line up with the spike itself. Can I quickly show this? So Maya itself has a few. Okay, assign new material, give it a Lambert, call it stripe demo or directional demo. Then on the colors, we'll give it a. Let's see. Let's give it a checker. Okay, here we see the checker. Although no, it has to be one. Where are my stripes? Break connection. Not fractal noise. Could have sworn there were stripes. Okay, we'll just do a ramp then, and we'll like make some stripes like this. And then we will just tile it like 5 times. Okay, so now you can see beautiful stripes. Back to our. Okay, let me quickly rotate this 9 degrees. So we have this. And then our stripes, if we were to just unfold them as is, or have them be, we'll reset them before we rotate it. We give them a cut here. We'll unfold. And you'll see that these stripes aren't really following it. Whereas if we rotate our when we rotate our shell, and we'll just make it a whole lot bigger. Now you see that these stripes are following the shape of it. So if you want to have some sort of directional effect, the orientation of your UVs are also quite important. Okay, get rid of that demo. Okay, same for these. Put a few more cuts in it. Unfold it. Make sure it's straightened out. Okay. And now if we lay it out, now we have something where we look at it and we can see, okay, this is the shield, this is the back, we have our horns, we have our secondary horns, and then we have the studs over here. This is something that we can kick back to Marmoset. Oh, hello, yep, there it is. And rebake it. Okay. And now if we look at this, it's not showing the mini pop-up window. But now this actually looks a lot nicer on the UVs. Or rather on the... Now it's receiving texture information as it should. We've minimized our texture seams. And this is done, or rather, this is okay. And now we can move this into world space. And make a little group. We'll call this decimated parts. Just so we do some scene organizations. This one's also going to decimated models. Decimated export. Okay. Okay, now we can set the pivot. Now we can duplicate it and now we can put it in place. Let me quickly grab the world space from ZBrush. Let's see. Paste, alright. Delete star. Oh, it's reconstructing subdivisions again. I should have deleted. Please don't crash. Alright. Let me just delete the subdivisions first before I try to merge that again. Okay. Decimated. It's analyzing. This one I just need for the world position. Okay. Took 27 seconds. We'll decimate it. 65 is quite a bit. Since this is literally only for positioning, I'll just say give me 10,000. I don't care about the polygons. We'll export and call it Shin-Guard World Checker. So let me know if people hear the keyboard clattering. Import asset Shin-Guard positioning, and now we'll just try to match it as best as we can. We'll set it to component. For a split second I was worried that this thing was going to be bigger. Alright, didn't hear any clattering of keyboard, good. Let me set the pivot. Oh wait, it is bigger. When did that happen? Okay, so whenever something like this happens, like I must have done something. Okay, that's bad, because I must have made edits to the world space, or rather, I must have made edits to the object space one, just so it's a bit better in place. And now it's no longer aligning. That's bad. How did that sneak in? So this is what happens when you're not meticulous enough. Also, I completely lost this. Tigerlands, thank you very much for the follow. That was 24 minutes ago. I apologize. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so I guess this is a nice demo to show what happens when something like this happens, because we do want like our high poly is the thing that's gonna matter, because we probably at some point went, okay, if we like this thing reached too small, so we made it bigger, but we did not fix the world space one. So I'm gonna go back into ZBrush first just to check, because like this is the source file. This is where all of it has to look good. Just copy this one. Go back to our main file. Paste it in. And then we are going to why are you up there? What's going on? Go to Unmask Center. Okay, now it's... That was weird. Go to the Unmask Center. How do we fix this? Hey Blue, welcome on in. Right on time for problem solving time. Okay, so I think if we set our gizmo up like this, it's going to do its best to try and follow the origin. And then I'm gonna say... Then I'm going to say reset mesh orientation. Right, that's upside down. Flip it. And again, we are working on a duplicate, so it's not like we're breaking anything. Golly. I thought this was gonna be like an easy thing to retopo, but instead we found ourselves a bear trap. That's fun. World space origin. We set it back on the center line. Go up. And we can definitely see that, yeah, this thing is bigger. Damn it. But like quite a bit. Are we still symmetrical if we try to rotate as best as we can? Doesn't look like it. I'll just carefully mirror and weld what happens. This is where it's kind of janky to try and find the world origin again. Okay, like as best as we can, this... So this is our target, and we can definitely see that, yeah, something happened. Because this is not just a uniform skill, I believe. Damn it. This is where the brain of mine has to go into overdrive, because like, how... Okay, so we have... This is a decimated object. We cannot use this as our high. But we can use this as a reference. So if we go, this is in the leg armor, this is no longer lag arbor, this needs to go to world origin elements. Now from here on out we have the correct size and the wrong size. It does appear like so in theory I could go back into the stream recordings and check when I made this mix up, because this is the type of stuff that happens and then okay, congratulations, you now have to spend a lot of time fixing it rather than just smoothly going forward. Like this is where you suffer time loss. Because basically we need to recreate this. Okay, we'll do our best. Also this... Okay. So we use the transpose tool to first off make the entire thing slightly upscaled. So we'll use this one to make sure that we don't accidentally select anything of the main body, because we only want to scale what's up here. So we'll select these. Okay, so if I move this, it only moves, yeah. So this one, and we will have to scale this up carefully. I don't want to scale it forward, I just need to get the... Let me turn off perspective for a second. I'm mainly looking at lining up the top horns first. So I can already see that the lower part of it is somewhat. This is a pretty good match. Okay. So now the question is going to be, we move this one into place, will it actually line up? Just as a test. Just as a skill test. Okay, so that does work, cool. Undo so it's back on the world origin. Turn off the gizmo. This thing is no longer required. We delete this one. Okay, and now we'll just have to quickly redo the retopo, because it's slightly off, but it's like a 99% accuracy. We'll just have to make sure that our vertices snap back. We'll rebake. And then we can put it into place. This is how easy it is to muck something up in 3D. Because the entire point of baking from high poly to low poly is that everything lines up in world space. The second something is slightly bigger or smaller, that entire theory falls apart. Alright. Yeah, so this is the difference. The original, you adjust it. It's slightly smaller. Okay, so we'll get rid of this one, delete. Copy this into a new subtool again. Actually, I'm not going to decimate it now, because we already done that. This one is going to be an actual high poly, so we'll pre-process current. This is me being a little bit of a chaotic mess right now. Don't worry, art is messy. It's the end result of like, oh yeah, it all worked out in the end. This is what's going to save us. In the meantime, how are we doing? How's everyone's week been going? Okay, it has the process. You've been getting an interview lined up for tomorrow. Been getting ready for. Ooh, that's exciting. Can you, or do you want to tell us what the interview is about? Like what position, maybe? Technical interview for a senior data engineer role. Wow, that's impressive. Good job. Technical interview, is that where they're gonna start asking you the really tough questions of like, hey, in a imaginary scenario like this, or like hypothetical scenarios where this is the issue, what are the steps that you would take in order to like solve it? Is it that type of an interview? Okay, so picking. Okay. Oh, sorry, wrong button. Maya. So this thing is no longer accurate. We delete it. We put in the actual high poly. Nope, that's position checker. Yeah, you've never done anything like this before, so you have no idea what they're going to ask. Oof. Oh. Now I have music too. Yes, I have. Hey, Alex, welcome on in. Happy to see you. Import. Where is my Shingar World Space High? It should import. Yep, that's me putting in a model of 3 million. Why is this so different? Okay, anyway. God, I guess I'll make a decimated model. What do you mean it's not computed? Like, this thing is already decimated. What do you mean you lost your compute? Yeah. Okay, fine. We'll pre-process it again. Yeah, Blue, all the best on that technical interview tomorrow. Try to prep as best as you can, and then I'm sure you'll do fine. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of that hypoly in Maya because it's making my machine blow. You did low poly during sculpting and now again. Is there any specific reason for that? I missed a few episodes of season 1. Hey, I make seasons now. So I made a low poly for the body because I wanted to have cleaner topology to sculpt on, and then also have something that resembled the final low poly, minus some animation loops, because it would give me an easier method of an easier way of doing the high poly. For example, I could open the mouth, I could splay the toes, and I could sculpt the hands a bit faster. What we're doing now is actually working on the proper low poly, which is decimating our high poly, and then now we're going for the actual final low poly. But we hit a snag where one of my high polys turns out to have changed at some point where the world space duplicate didn't line up, so we're remaking the world space one now. Okay, so this is the high. Now I need a low one. So there's going to be the decimated one. Assets, decimated objects. Yes. Oh, I do it again. If I click that button, it changes from stream, so we click like this. Okay, so this is the low poly that we made, which is in world space, so it allows us to use the symmetry options up here. Though we figured that this thing, or rather, it's too small. It doesn't line up, so that's why we have to remake it, or fix that. Because if I were to scale it up like this, I don't think it's like an entirely accurate fit. And also I should not be scaling on the world, so that's why I'm fixing it on the world space. Like I'm going through the hassle of it. Let's see, decimate. Yeah, so we scale on the world origin and try to reline it up as best as we can. So again, this is for our world map baking, so everything needs to line up as best as it can. Okay, so this is where we see the studs being off. With symmetry turned on, we'll just quickly go over it again. This is the type of issues that cause a lot of padding in game dev, where it's like, oh yeah, you accidentally made a mistake and you're paying for it after, like, you'll pay for it in the next stage of development because that's when you realize, oh, I mucked up. So yeah, it would have been better if I had not made that basic mistake. But yeah, everyone makes mistakes, and that's fine. So you fix them is what's important. Right. Try to do this one a bit more speedy. So I just tap it a little bit, and then Maya will try to magnetize it back to the model as best as it can. Fix these studs. And then down here is quite a misalignment, so we'll just lock that back in. Like maybe I use the transpose tool in ZBrush at some point to just lengthen it ever so slightly so it better fits the silhouette, or not silhouette, the character based on the concept. Then I just did not update the world space one. So that's what happened, and now we have to pay for it a little bit. But that's fine. Let's see. Is that all? Last one. Alright. Oh, I gotta check the tips, make sure that they align. Oh, these ones still have alignment issues. Fix. Alright, so that's fixed. Or at least should be. Nope, don't give it a keyframe. Just giving it quick ones over. It looks like over here we have some misalignment issues. Alright, cool. Make sure that our UVs are still good, so we'll just do a quick unfold again. As well, unfold. Give them a quick layout. The layout is not final, because again, eventually it's going to get packed up with the rest of the body, but for the test bake, this is fine. Let me increase transforms. I don't want to have any values here. Shin, world space low, and baking. Let me triple check if the just checking the one in ZBrush so that in baking, Shin world space high. Yep, that one's also a thing. Bang OBJ, cool. Back to Marmoset. Okay, yep, we have horrible misalignment because we updated. So the Shin guard should be good. This world space. Yeah, so now we just have to rebake. Okay, and there we go. Now it's fixed again. Okay, back to Maya. Shingar world space. This one's incorrect, we delete. This is the reference. This is actual decimated. So this one goes in here. Gets hidden. Shin guard. Character space. Minor spelling mistake. And this one's gonna get placed where we want it to be. Now this one does not need to line up perfectly, only as best as we can. Okay. And we're gonna leave this one for now. This one we do not get rid of the transforms because later on, once this thing has its proper padded UV packing, we will have to then move it back into space again. But for now, this one goes into test model, and this one. Can I lock these for now? Never do this, but just lock it so I don't when you lock something, you cannot accidentally move it. Like if you look at the gizmos, you see that they're grayed out. These channels are locked, I cannot accidentally bump it. Okay, so that's a Shin guard. This Shin guard has straps, so we'll have to get those as well. Back to ZBrush. We go to our high poly and we'll grab these. I believe these things already had some subdivision levels, so we'll just steal them. Oh. Or rather, steal them is a big word. I'll have to find a way to merge them. These are 220. I'll just export them at like 26. Let's see. Shingar straps. I'll call them decimated, but they're not truly. Back to my okay, so we have these now, which are the placeholder or the guides that we're gonna do. Let's see. Oh, this one already has them. Great. Thanks, Pascal. Let's see, does this have proper hands? Yes, I'm looking at this face and I'm not too happy about it. But we'll fix that in the future. Okay, cool. We'll go to this one. Only surface, this is the one with the updated chest. Oh, yeah, and the entire belt thing. Cool. Alright. Symmetry, I'll give it 2 more. This. Make sure that they're smooth out because I was looking at those polygons and noticed that they were a little bit scrunkly. Just want to have those polygons be a little bit more even. Okay. Because now we're gonna have to make some decisions. Because this is where asymmetry kicks in. First off, we're gonna keep a backup. So we'll call this. Call this body leg straps. Like, I should find a better consistent naming convention for this one, but these are like little reminders of okay. Body work in progress 2, sure, and with this one we're gonna add the leg straps. So turn off symmetry because we no longer have that. And we'll start putting them in and see how this thing goes. Because again, I should probably stop doing this where there is like a huge gap between models. Like this thing should have been firmer up against the leg. Though this might be a small blessing because the knee is now free to articulate however we want. Okay, we'll start getting these straps in. So, one extra cut there. Get rid of this one. Modeling, cut. Rather, this is probably going to be a little bit janky, but that's fine. Yeah, I probably should have done better planning. So now, like, we have this awkward in-between area. But it's also on such a small thing where probably no one's ever gonna actually see it. So this here. Oh, that's a spiral. We don't want that. I'm gonna isolate this for a split second. Just so I can see what the heck I'm doing. These, go there. I don't need this one. These need to get merged. Get deleted, so we have a triangle here, that's fine. Or other. So I'll just model it out real quick of what I want, which is an extending strap over here. And now from this point on, this leg needs to... Okay. Same for this side. This is probably where we want it. I'm sorry if this is borderline seizure inducing to watch due to all of the clipping going on. But yeah. This is necessary. Let me hide this for a second. I extruded it from the wrong in here. Oh, we're doing the same thing again. From here one, we extrude, this is going to be the band. Yeah, okay. Now it adds up again. One in the front. We'll just bridge them together. Now, here's one thing that I do want to do, is make sure that our polygons roughly line up. So over here, I do want this line to roughly line up with this one. Just, this has to do with deformations. If you have overlapping elements and your topology roughly lines up, you can give vertices the same skin weights, and they'll how do you say this properly? They will move roughly the same. If you have two pieces of polygons that are like wildly different in density, one of them is going to get skinned, like the skinning information isn't going to line up. And that's when you're gonna start having some really bizarre clipping. Again, I'm trying to like roughly keep it aligned, even though it's behind an object. Make sure this remains. Okay, cool. That's one strap done. Gotta make sure that this also lines up so it's not like too wibbly wobbly. Okay, just make sure that our vertices are roughly lined up. You're trying to keep all polygons aligned to a degree across the whole model, or is this specific elements on the model? So this one I'm keeping it mainly for the knee. So that when this knee bends, how do I phrase this? Oh, can I come up with a quick example? Because it's usually local. For example, if these belts were loose, I would try to keep these lines, these edges lined up, so that when the body underneath it moves, the belt moves alongside with it. If, for example, this belt had like completely different topology, trying to have those move in unison and not have like wild scaling or wild sliding issues, it will be a lot more nightmarish. Hong Xiao, thank you very much for the follow. Let me know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Thank you. Hang on, can I quickly... Yeah, so this is the reference image that we're going off. Currently we are in the retopology stage. If I can showcase the high poly real quick. Hey Snowy, welcome on in. So this is the high poly that we already have finished. We worked on it for quite a few months by now. Wrong is fine. Okay, cool. So yeah, this is the high poly, and now we're doing the retopologizing stage of yeah, turn it into an actual low poly. Okay, and we're currently working on some straps. Hi Snowy, I miss you too. I wish time zones weren't a thing so I could watch your streams more often, but for Europe, you stream in the dead of night, which I could wreck my sleep schedule for you again. Let's see. Start lining these up. Now, I am being a little bit risky with like having this topology be fully asymmetrical on the legs, but I think we should be fine. Thank you, Snowy. Oh, this needs to go way down. Try to learn more about 3D, because you used to sculpt and do some 3D modeling or 3D modding for Unreal 2.5. Usually 2D others. Oh, nice. Saw a nice character on the profile pic and 3D art, so you joined here. Thank you. Yeah, the image that I use as an avatar is drawn by an artist named Babanasaur. He also streams on Twitch from time to time. And yeah, I am absolutely smitten by that art piece. Yeah, welcome on in. Enjoy your stay here. Thank you, Marin. Top belt. Get you between. Yeah, retopology. Not everyone's favorite. I've grown to like it, and I dare say I've gotten pretty good at it. But then, in the same breath, I worked on some other projects off screen, and then suddenly realizing like, oh, man, I should have made different topology choices here, and paid dearly for it on some of those projects. Cost a lot of extra work just to get it to what's the word? To actually get it to work. Yeah. With every project you learn, you get better, and then the next one's gonna go easier. Like sculpting, make something completely out of the norms to move and stretch properly, that's a nightmare. Yeah, there are some studios that even have dedicated retopology specialists. So there are some people out there that do nothing but retopology all day, every day. Okay, let's see. Do the thing again where we turn these off. Let's see. Yeah, and then we'll close it off like this. Hey Labcode, welcome on in. Happy to see you. Rigging, I've seen pro modelers make some the house hacks for rigging, so like will not turn into an octopus. Yeah, there so much goes into making a character come to life, like from the high poly to the low poly to all the tricks that needs to be done just to make it look good in the end. There's some wacky models out there where if you look underneath the hood, you get fearful of like, which artist worked on this and how did they discover this knowledge? Like, what did they do? Snowy's model. Oh boy. Do I want to know what's in that model, Snowy? Hey who. Welcome on in. Okay. Yeah, I've seen some models on VR chat where you see someone load in and your PC stutters for a second, so it's like, hi, what's in that trick box of a 3D model that you just load in? And you inspect them, it's like, hi, why do you have 500,000 polygons? It's like, how many outfits are you storing in that thing? Yeah, and then have multiple people, multiple artists work on the same 3D model. Everyone has their own little methods of doing things. You will get discrepancies, and that's when fun stuff begins to pop up. It's another one done. Oh yeah, the 8K textures. My god. Why on earth do you think you need an 8K texture in VR chat? Like, I thought about it. I cannot come up with any single reasons of like, hi, this is why I need an 8K texture. It's like, no. Just no. It's not required. Your sunglasses need 8K. No, they don't. God, no. Okay, that's another strap done. We're doing all of this work and none of it's going to be visible or barely visible in the final. But it's fine. Okay, last one, we'll grab it from here. Number bigger is more gooder though. No, it's not. Remember the days when we had Nintendo 64 and all the stuff that we had to do to like make it work on, I don't know, 4 megabyte? Did we have megabytes back then? Like I can't play Majora's Mask on my original 64 hardware because I do not have a memory expansion pack. Like I can't play that game. It's not enough memory. Gaming industry, 16K textures. I had okay. Back in university, I was friends with someone who did architectural visualization, and they shoved an entire castle into a singular 16K texture just to see if they could. They managed to do it. It looked good. It had all of the scan data in it. Like, this was before mega scans, mind you. Like, this guy actually walked up to a castle and started taking a million pictures of every possible angle himself. Turned it into a 16K texture and walked away with it. It was not viable because he could not send the file to anyone else. Like, it was too big. Couldn't file transfer it, so it was just stuck in his machine. Beauty renders look gorgeous though. Also, yeah, 1080p. I still have a 1080p monitor. I'm doing fine. It's like this whole 4K gaming, and I'm sitting here going like, I would not be able to see that, like, on my monitor. What brand do I have? I have a BenQ and an HP monitor. That's all I need. 4K gaming. I've been to tech conferences where they were like showcasing the next big thing of like monitors and everything. I like the richness of the colors that are on more modern monitors. I absolutely need more polygons here. I like the richness of the colors. Like when you see like the vibrant colors popping off. I believe they had the. Gotta get K and 8K. Please do not give me an 8K monitor. I would not know what to do with it. But what was it? One of the tech fairs that I went to had back then the Horizon Zero Dawn PC port just released, and they were showcasing it on one of their new vibrant monitors, and it looked absolutely stunning. Like that was a great great game to demo on because like all of the lush vegetation, everything was sharp, the lighting really popped. It was really well done. And I'm like, cool. My monitor doesn't have that level of colors, so that's the only reason why I would one of the few reasons why I would upgrade, but I don't need to go into 4K. If anything, it makes really tiny UIs on all of your 3D modeling programs. Okay, let me focus up real quick for this last band. This. So yeah, just the rich colors would be nice. How much bandwidth on a PCI bus? Need the game on that? I have no idea. I am not all that tech literate. When I built this PC, I had massive help from a lot of friends in a different server who could help me point out like, hey, Like you're a 3D artist, this is the type of thing that you are going to be doing primarily. So these are the hardware components that you really like need to beef up and not cheap out on. Other parts it's like, okay, cool. Just tell me what I need to buy because I don't know. I don't know what all these magical numbers mean. Okay, we'll just slide these around a little bit. So you're saying so many limitations, you cannot just buy PC for gaming or PC or 4K cinema and use it for both cinema and gaming. I guess I'll take your word for it because I legitimately don't fully understand what the hell goes all into it. Like I know a lot of people are very hyped about it, but you know that Sonic meme of like I want smaller games with worse graphics, but like fun gameplay? I'm in that meme. I don't need a video game where my eyeballs are burning because everything is so beautiful. Like, I don't know if that's sacrilege to say as a 3D artist. But for the people out there who have mega PCs and are gaming in 8K monitors, I hope they're living their dreams. I hope they're having fun. Because that's what it's all about for video games. Alright. Let's see. Let's look our own 3D model. So some of this is getting a little bit janky in terms of like how close these polygons are. I think I'm just gonna collapse this one. This one. Make sure I don't have an accidental internal face. Which we do. We don't need that, that's technical error. And then we need more than one edge here, so I'll just move this in. This one's gonna go on the bandage. Again, I'm keeping my loops in, but from time to time I will sneak in polygons to like have a little bit of a better silhouette in there, such as the bandages, because those it's nice that they're getting caught in the normal map. Having like little silhouette changes adds a lot. And there's gonna be average. Triangle there. accidentally delete one over there. Let me check. Get some soft edges. This is where things get a little bit jank, and I'll probably have to adjust the low poly just so it doesn't collapse too much on itself. I have to make sure that we don't have any weird vertex information. Soft matches. Okay. Let's see. Same for these down here. I'll just soften all of them real quick. Okay, not this thing though. Oh, did I accidentally just harden the entire thing? Okay, let's do another test bake. Wait, UVs. Yeah, because we did a bunch of bridging, so that's why we have these faces all angled up. Automatic mapping. Okay. Shoot it back over. Body work in progress, marmoset. Okay, because now we have these elements in here. Rebake. Okay. Again, because we have these edges, it has a little bit of silhouette peeking out. Because again, these bandages here on this leg, they feel too flat. So that's why I want to put in a few extra cuts to make sure that even from a distance, they have like some silhouette going on. Bandages, yes, because if you want to make your character look cool and edgy, you give him bandages. Right. And as a test, let's see, jumping over to Maya real quick. Grabbing that shin guard. So with this one, if we make an export out of it, we don't put it in the baking file. Shin guards, character space. Temp. Back to marmoset. Import. Shin guard, character space. But now, if we put our shin guard texture on it, and just look at it, so this is what it would look like as a, like, how it's meant to be. So if you look here, this looks pretty convincing. Then we look at the wireframe, and it adds up. So there is a bit of a density discrepancy. The leg itself needs to deform, like especially here in the back of the knee. This large metal chunk, this one is most likely going to get completely 100% skinned to the lower leg this thing just needs to look good on silhouette. It does not need to adhere to any deformation topology because it's a solid metal piece. Make them look like a mummy, more band-aid, preferably Hello Kitty band-aids. We can make that work. We can just have a Hello Kitty texture tile over the bandages and then have one of those as a funsy version. Okay. So I'm happy with that. Looking at the feet. So we have these. Let's. So I kept some of these bandages symmetrical, some of them not. So we'll see how much we can cut in and then make sure that it still looks good. Alright, back to Maya. Symmetrical cuts. I believe these bands were still symmetrical, so that's what we'll focus on for now. There we go. Save. Make sure we're working in symmetry again. I'll add one more here. Oh, and we also need to make sure that we model in those bony landmarks. Okay. Let's see. Oh, wait. I made a mistake. Okay, so up there, this high up, it is not symmetrical. So we'll undo a bunch of that. I don't want to accidentally touch that. Okay, so we'll focus on this bandage for now then, because that one is symmetrical. Just need to not go entirely overboard with these bandages because, again, polygon budget. I want to find a balance between, oh yeah, this looks very detailed, but also like not, hey, you've completely lost it and started modeling out every single bandage. and that one's also asymmetrical. Wow, I should have done better planning. Like more strict, hey, these are symmetrical elements and these are not. Because now I'm making a lot of mistakes. We'll just turn off symmetry. And for this one, we'll just sneak in a couple of triangles. Also, I like how in the previous stream we were talking about triangles and I said that I'd try to not add that many triangles. And then we ended up with this, which is like a lot of triangles. Just knit against make poly for every string. That's overkill. I just want like a couple of the silhouette cuts in it. It'll be fine. It'll be worth it. Okay. Tell you what, we'll do this one. Collapse this one. And I'm purposely not looking at the other leg yet. I hope that this thing is actually symmetrical. And if it's not, then we'll just fix it asymmetrically. Okay, looks like we got away with it. Well, almost. One little cut here. Firing in blemishes. Haven't seen it in VR yet. Oh boy. The amount of tears that 3D artists put in their models that the world will never know about. Okay, last few, because otherwise I think this is gonna get into like severe overkill territory. Let's just chunk in this little silhouette cut and then we'll call it. Because again, we're doing the whole zoomed in thing again. Like, I shouldn't. But it looks nice. It's like, especially if we had silhouette mode. Oh, hi Deke. Welcome on in. You know what would be cool? VR 3D modeling where you can grab model in your hands and change everything on it. That tech exists. It's not as refined to like start making like whatchamacallit, high fidelity 3D models, but hey Ruckus. I've seen people use VR what do you call it? Like VR brushing to make mock-up 3D environments. It's really cool, and the people that are proficient in it are really like they're very polite and kind about it. Like, oh yeah, this is my methodology and everything. One of them was working for movies about how they, rather than concepting and trying to get the movie angles, they would concept a block out 3D environment and then have the camera fly through it and then have the director go like, okay, what about this shot? What about this shot? And then use that to like as a workflow. Deke, thank you very much for the 4 months. Get destroyed, nerd. Oh no. I need to make an explosion redeem. Oh. Twitch, thank you for trying to put like some sort of weird sub goal on it. Yeah, cool. Thank you very much for the support, Deke. Very much appreciated. Okay, let's see, because I do want to have like a small inset. For this bone. Okay, Hype Train, thank you Twitch. They're really making a gamification push for all of that stuff. Okay. Just want to have like a little extrusion inward here, so we have that silhouette bump. Same for this side. Craziest idea I've seen. Model the body rig and topo without the skin, then model the skin on top. Topo and add illustration and physics. I could have sworn there was a company that actually did like very accurate skin deformations, or like muscle simulation, and then the company got bought, and then it went sent to the Shadow Realm. I think Unity got their hands on it. I forgot the name of the company or that product, but yeah, I think they did like Hulk, like the Hulk as one of their like marketing shots with it. Like, hi, here's Bruce Banner, and here's him hulking out, and then just have all these really cool effects going on and everything. Very impressive. Shame that it's gone. So yeah. I'm very, oh, wow, Deke, the audacity, thank you. Alright, we are getting lost into adding triangles and wanting to make this as detailed as possible, so I'm gonna rip myself out of this. Gonna do a test bake. Light them out, yes. Do a quick test bake just to see how things look. Let's see, back to marmoset. Don't you love jumping through like 3 or 4 software packages in a single project? We're not even at the end yet. Alright. Okay, so seeing like all of these silhouette cuts makes me happy. Have you seen a Meta Humans program by Dwarf Animation Studios? I don't think I have. I am familiar with Dwarf Animation Studios, but I have not seen more of their recent work. Muscle simulation stuff is really cool. Wish you knew more about it. Yeah, same. It is such a technical thing where it's like, hi, I'd like to know more about it. Is there documentation? It's like, no. Yeah. Or rather, well-kept secrets. Yeah, it's obscenely impressive what some people did with it. I'm sad to see that it's not around anymore, or at least that software is no longer around. Alright, I said this was going to be the last one. I lied. Send me the link on Whispers. Okay, I'll see if I can check it after stream. I don't want to lose the flow. It sucks that it looks like we're making so little progress, but this is just the time-consuming part of doing retopo. It takes time. So, wow, we're already nearly at 6 o'clock. Damn. I feel like I can go on a little bit longer, because like Retopo doesn't take too much brain power for me. And I'd like to have a little bit more progress than, oh yeah, we did the like, no, don't night me, you deek. I'm not gonna. Like, if anything, I should do a little bit more this evening. Like, still gotta finish my new PC setup. Want to make sure that all of that works properly. This one come from. Oh, that's you. Okay. No, Deke, you can't frown me. It's couch time for you, Deke. You're still running off 3 hours of sleep since 12. Why are you... God, I'm gonna yeet you into the couch. Please, please go take a rest. Later on, you're gonna have to tell me why you've been up since 12 midnight. So yeah, good night, everyone. Say good night to Deke. She's going to Couchland. Ah, because hormones. Alright, you blow up. You're very proud of me. Thank you very much, Deke. Thank you for being an amazing friend. Alright. That's some horrifying topology. Another test. And after that I just want to go on to the next element. Rebake. Okay, so there should be some lower foot guards. We'll grab those from ZBrush. But I did some edge wear on this, and I honestly don't think I want to do that in the high poly. If anything, we'll bang them up in the diffuse. So luckily, we did this on a layer. We'll get rid of that. Because yeah, if I were to do it here, then I'm gonna have to start doing it everywhere, and that means adjusting the high poly by quite a bit. So. Oh, this looks too perfect. No, we'll do it in the texture. I'm making an executive decision. Also, these things are really low poly already, so probably we can just grab this and just slightly adjust this one. So yay for sub-D modeling. Just export them like that. Go back to Maya. Import them. Where did I put them? Assets. Oh, feed card sub-D. Yes. For this type of stuff, okay, for the sub-D modeling, we needed equal words. We needed equal polygons. For this, we can just rip them out. One symmetry check. Okay, they are symmetrical, and now we can probably just go with every other first. Same like this. I just want to make sure that the center line remains. We do not need this fence. Yeah, we basically already have it. Checking on the inside, yeah. This fence as well, we don't need it. This is only there for sub-D modeling. Slide it around a little bit. Soften the edges. Now we basically have them already. Yee. Let me get rid of the this minimal for a split second. Yeah, this is all we need. Alright. Create automatic UVs. No. Actually, no. Since this we should make them into actual proper UVs. So planar projection. They're symmetrical. We only need one, so I'll just kick this one out. We're only interested in the top part. We cut off the bottom. Flip that. Unfold. Check the stretch. I'm always a little bit like, do I need to have something like this so the corners are more relaxed? But I think that's a good habit to have. So, okay, and now we'll stitch it on like this. Unfold it. Make sure that this is straightened. And there we have it. So this is all that we need. It is not required to have this be stitched on. I just prefer it because later on when we do layout, some people... Okay, let me rephrase. Some projects, it does not matter what your UV layout is, because a lot of it is going to be done through Substance Painter, where you paint directly on top of the model, and you're not quite, like, you don't care where it is on the UV space. Like, it's full automatic. There is no human that is ever going to look at that and go like, okay, I kind of need that to be differently. Whereas the models that I make, if I stitch them together, these things are always going to stay together. So when you look at a UV layout, you will know that, like, okay, this is the front part, this is the back part, and I know that this is of the same piece. It's something that I do. Or rather, when you have, for example, when you're working on the VR chat avatar and you see UVs and it's just complete scrungled mess. If you need to do any manual adjustments, or if you're someone without an expensive program such as Substance Painter and you're trying to do it in something like Clip Studio, congratulations, that is mission impossible. Right, flip these. These shin guards, or feet guards. Go to ZBrush, export them on the highest level. Oh, running with polypaint? No, I don't need a material file. Oh wait, it's the metal. Nope, we don't need that. Export it again. Running OBJ, no material file needed. Back to Marmoset. Yeah, this one is a temp. It's fine. New baking group because No pack TVs yet. Import. Get feed cards. Again, high and high, low and low. Nope. Alright, bake. You can almost not see it, but it's there. And same for the ambient occlusion, it is only on the inside. Which is fine. Because again, we need these utility maps later on. So we can't just leave this out. Later on when we have stuff like curvature maps, world normal maps. Hang on, I can actually show these. Down here, normals, object normals, curvature, material ID is also going to be a big one later on. What are these presets? Oh. Does it show this window? It does. So later on, we'll want position, we'll want thickness, ambient occlusion 2, which is a different way of calculating it. What else do I want? But these are like maps that we'll be using later on as well. So we cannot ignore this at the moment. What's going on here? Side offset, clear. Alright, so I think that's the lower legs. Like the bandages, the foot guards, toes. Do I want to... Alright, last cut. It's gonna be like this little bit here, because these polygons are quite stretched, we don't want that. And one last silhouette cut. I'll also have to check in with the rigger if this is enough cuts or if they want more, because this is quite a deforming area. So back to Maya. That's decimated. Show you our symmetry. I'll just add one more. Okay, and then this edge will place here because I want to make sure that we have enough for deformation. I lied. I wanted to do silhouette. Alright, cool. I think I've gone crazy enough with like the amount of edge cuts that I'm making in here. Okay, export again. Arm set. Okay, and our poly count is currently sitting on, can I see that in here? Yeah, over here. So we're currently sitting on 18k triangles. Well, yeah, this model is 18k triangles. It is 6 o'clock. So if I look at this, well actually, no, hold up. Back to Maya. Remember how I said I didn't keep incremental saves? Change that. Okay, so if we this, we'll duplicate, move it 340. I believe, yeah, every 10, 330. This, oh right, we lock that one, we unlock, freeze this one, move it, origin, 330. Okay, just so we have like visual, whatchamacallit, where we have a visual on how it's going. And if we look at this, we can see that the legs basically got the main attention in this stream. Lot of loop cuts, like keeping the silhouette in it. But again, we saw what it looked like without it. And if we look at our silhouettes, turn off wireframes, you'll see that in here we have all of these jagged lines. And that is not what I want to show for this project. So if we go at this one, you see bandages. Like that's the whole reason why I did this. Not these jagged edges. Like again, I'm trying to turn this into a portfolio piece. I'm trying to showcase line of thinking. I'm trying to showcase that whatchamacallit, that I can make high quality characters. That is the whole reason why we're doing this. Okay, so turn off symmetry, get my interface back, hide these again. Yeah, it is 6 o'clock. How many How many folks are in here? I'm uncertain what to do. I could potentially go a little bit longer, but I don't really see an element of... Oh yeah, this is something that we can tackle quickly. If we're gonna start on something, it'll most likely be like... we still need to do the shredding of the pants down here. There's a couple more cuts that we have to do to make the transition of these two pieces go together. It's like we have some pretty beefy folds out here. So I feel like that is something that we're gonna do for a future stream that we'll keep for next week. Let's see, are there any... I have not said hello to this person yet, so I think I want to go... But I already have quite a few. We're gonna go say hi to... Let's go say hi to Alex. Alright. Right, Alex is live streaming, she's working on a beautiful painting again, and I want to go say hi to her. So we'll save the project, and I'm gonna start a raid. Let's see. Slash raid. Alright, raid has been created. So everyone, as always, thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for enjoying these more technical streams, where it's just retopo and we're going over it bit by bit. I feel like we're going from the bottom up, so next week we'll probably finish the pants and then work on the shirt. Maybe we can squeeze in the shoulder, or we do the wrist skull. All of those fur tufts also need to be created. So there's still plenty of stuff to be done, and then later on, once we get to the head, we have to like make sure we have animation topology, get rid of this dense topology, do the hair, and then eventually we'll do the axe prop. Okay. As always, if you'd like to see more of me outside of Twitch, I have a blue sky. This is it. Feel free to give me a follow over there if you want to see more. And for now, we are going to go with the Cozy Vibes raid again. So, thank you all very much, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye!